For decades, one name stood above every other in the world of hypercars: Bugatti. When people talked about impossible speed, breathtaking luxury, and engineering beyond imagination, Bugatti was always the first name that came. The Veyron changed the automotive world forever, and the Chiron proved that Bugatti was still the king. For years, it seemed like nobody could challenge them. But then, something unexpected happened. Thousands of miles away, in a small country with a population smaller than many major cities, a tiny company began building cars that looked like they belonged in the future. That company was Koenigsegg. No massive factories, no century-old history, no giant automotive empire behind it. Just one man's dream, and a small team determined to do what the world's biggest manufacturers believed was impossible. Today, Koenigsegg is no longer just another exotic car brand. It has become the company that pushes engineering further than almost anyone else. Every new model introduces technology that leaves even industry experts amazed. And naturally, one question started spreading across the automotive world. Has Koenigsegg finally surpassed Bugatti? To answer that question, we need to go back to where Bugatti's legend truly began. Bugatti wasn't built overnight. Its roots stretch back more than 100 years, when Italian-born designer Ettore Bugatti founded the company in France with one simple goal: to build the most beautiful and technically advanced cars on Earth. Even in the early days, Bugatti wasn't chasing ordinary success. The company wanted perfection. Its racing cars dominated competitions across Europe, while its luxury models became symbols of wealth, elegance, and engineering excellence. Owning a Bugatti wasn't simply about transportation. It was about owning a masterpiece. As decades passed, the company experienced incredible highs, but also devastating lows. Financial problems, changing markets, and world events pushed Bugatti into long periods of decline. Many people believed the legendary brand would disappear forever. Then came one of the biggest revivals in automotive history. The Volkswagen Group acquired Bugatti with an ambitious mission: not to build another sports car, but to build the fastest production car the world had ever seen. Engineers were given almost unlimited resources. Money wasn't the priority. Breaking limits was. Years of research led to an engineering masterpiece unlike anything the world had seen before. The Bugatti Veyron, powered by a massive quad-turbocharged W16 engine producing over 1,000 horsepower, the Veyron shattered expectations. It crossed the 400 km/h barrier, something many experts had once called impossible for a production car. Suddenly, Bugatti wasn't just making luxury cars. It was rewriting automotive history. The Veyron became the dream car of billionaires, celebrities, athletes, and collectors around the globe. Its successor, the Chiron, pushed those limits even further with more power, better aerodynamics, and astonishing performance. Bugatti had become the undisputed king of the hypercar world, or at least, that's what everyone believed. Because while Bugatti was celebrating world records, a young entrepreneur in Sweden had been quietly chasing an impossible dream of his own, a dream that would eventually force the entire automotive industry to pay attention. And his name was Christian von Koenigsegg. While Bugatti was backed by one of the largest automotive groups in the world, Koenigsegg had something far more unpredictable: a dream. Christian von Koenigsegg wasn't born into a family that owned a car company. He didn't have billions of dollars waiting to fund his ideas. Instead, he had an obsession. As a child in Sweden, he became fascinated with machines, speed, and engineering. According to Christian, one animated short film about building the impossible inspired him to ask a question that would shape the rest of his life. Why can't I build the world's greatest sports car? It sounded impossible. The world's most respected manufacturers had decades of experience, massive factories, and thousands of engineers. Christian had none of those advantages. But he refused to let that stop him. In 1994, at just 22 years old, he founded Koenigsegg Automotive. At the time, almost nobody believed the company would survive. Building an ordinary car is already one of the most difficult engineering challenges in the world. Building a hypercar capable of competing with Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, and Bugatti seemed almost impossible. The early years were brutal. Money was limited. Every prototype took countless hours of work. Every new component had to meet incredibly high standards. The team was small, but their ambition was enormous. Then disaster struck. A fire destroyed one of Koenigsegg's production facilities. For many startups, that would have been the end. But Christian and his team refused to quit. They rebuilt, they redesigned, and they kept moving forward. That determination slowly began turning heads across the automotive industry. Instead of copying what everyone else was doing, Koenigsegg started asking a different question. What if we redesign everything from the ground up? The company invested heavily in lightweight carbon fiber construction, advanced aerodynamics, and completely original engineering solutions. Every kilogram mattered. Every airflow improvement mattered. Every fraction of a second mattered. Soon, Koenigsegg wasn't just building fast cars. It was inventing technologies that many larger manufacturers had never attempted. One of the biggest examples was the revolutionary direct drive system used in the Agera. Most high-performance cars rely on traditional multi-gear transmissions. Koenigsegg challenged that idea by creating a system that dramatically reduced mechanical complexity while delivering astonishing acceleration. Then came another breakthrough. The Jesko. Named after Christian's father, the Jesko wasn't designed simply to look beautiful. It was engineered to dominate. Its twin-turbocharged V8 engine produced extraordinary power, while its advanced aerodynamic package generated enormous downforce at high speeds. Almost every part of the car had been redesigned to extract maximum performance. The suspension, the steering, the cooling system. Even the transmission was unlike anything else on the road. Koenigsegg introduced the revolutionary light-speed transmission, allowing lightning-fast gear changes without the delay found in conventional dual-clutch systems. It wasn't just faster, it was a completely different way of thinking. And that's exactly what made Koenigsegg so dangerous. While many manufacturers focused on improving existing technology, Koenigsegg kept asking impossible questions and then finding answers. Suddenly, the automotive world realized something remarkable. This tiny Swedish company was no longer trying to catch up. It was beginning to lead, and that left everyone wondering, could innovation defeat tradition? Because the next challenge wasn't simply building an incredible car. It was proving, on the road and on the record books, that Koenigsegg could truly stand beside, or even surpass, the mighty Bugatti. For years, Koenigsegg had been building incredible machines, but creating a beautiful hypercar was one thing. Proving that it could defeat the world's fastest cars was something completely different. The answer would come through one thing that every hypercar manufacturer dreams about: records. In 2017, Koenigsegg shocked the automotive world with the Agera RS. Many expected Bugatti to remain untouchable. After all, Bugatti had the resources of one of the biggest automotive groups on the planet. But Koenigsegg had something else: innovation. The Agera RS achieved a top speed that stunned the industry, and officially recorded an average speed of over 447 kilometers per hour during its famous high-speed runs. A small Swedish manufacturer had just defeated one of the biggest names in automotive history. The impossible suddenly looked possible. But Koenigsegg wasn't finished. The company continued pushing boundaries with the Jesko Absolut. Unlike many hypercars built for attention, the Jesko Absolut was designed with one goal in mind: maximum speed. Every curve of the body was created to reduce drag. Every component was optimized for performance. The engineers weren't simply building a fast car. They were creating a machine designed to challenge the limits of physics. But the battle between Koenigsegg and Bugatti isn't only about numbers, because these two companies represent two completely different philosophies. Bugatti represents heritage, luxury, a century of history, a combination of extreme performance and unmatched elegance. A Bugatti is not just a car, It is a symbol of success. Koenigsegg represents something different: innovation, independence, the idea that a small team with a bold vision can challenge the biggest companies in the world. While Bugatti uses enormous resources to perfect every detail, Koenigsegg often creates completely new solutions from scratch, and that's why enthusiasts respect both brands. They are not simply competitors. They are two different answers to the same question: how far can humans push the automobile? Bugatti builds masterpieces by combining tradition with extreme engineering. Koenigsegg builds experiments that become reality. One has history, the other has rebellion. One represents the old definition of automotive greatness, the other represents the future. So, has Koenigsegg beaten Bugatti? The answer depends on what you value. If you want heritage, luxury, and a legendary name, Bugatti remains one of the greatest automotive brands ever created. But if you admire innovation, technology, and the courage to challenge impossible limits, Koenigsegg has already achieved something extraordinary. Because the biggest victory isn't always building the fastest car. Sometimes the biggest victory is proving that a small dream can challenge the entire world. And that is exactly what Koenigsegg did. A company that started with a young man's impossible idea became one of the most respected hypercar manufacturers on Earth. The race between Bugatti and Koenigsegg is far from over, and the next chapter of the hypercar war has only just begun.